You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports, and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here.
Ding dong. Hello?
Everybody three count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I didn't get here because I was cute, or because I came from some famous wrestling family, or because I sucked up to the right people. I got here because I am good. I earned this championship.
Frustrated into the goddamn word for it. This is bullshit.
Brett made a very, very selfish decision. Brett's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. Brett screwed Brett. I have no sympathy whatsoever for Brett.
This is my show, and I'm sick of all of you calling me the coward. You're the cowards. I'm the one here day in and day out in that wrestling ring beating people up. Thank you very much.
I don't steal opportunities. I am the opportunity.
3 ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in, Jim.
I'm an idiot.
Ryan.
I'm a sausage guy.
Matt.
Who gives a shit?
Tim.
Right on the cock.
And intern Mark.
Hi, boys.
I'm going to tell you all with a tear in my eye. This is the greatest moment in my life.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday. We are live August the 12th, 2021. We are still the podcast of the millennium. We hope that you are having a good week. And if you are with us live, please give us a like and a share. We'd appreciate that. Get as many people in here watching with us and interacting with us as much as possible. We thank you always for your support. Make sure you go to recounththursday.com. What's going on, Devin? Go to recounththursday.com. That is our homepage. You'll find all of our social media links, our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net. Oh, you're sorry, Ryan. You're muted. Thank you, Ryan. Our Patreon page, patreon.com/3CountThursday.
What a Patreon!
Collar and Elbow Brand deal, store.collarandelbowbrand.com. Use promo code 3count for 10% off each and every order over at Collar and Elbow Brand store. I think they dropped some new merch last week, I want to say. I saw there was some new hats, maybe a couple of new t-shirts. Devin wants to steal your Elimination Chamber poster, Mark. Our home network, of course, is NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. Ryan, is that the cover for the Bella's book in the background?
Yeah, I took down all the indie wrestling stuff and forgot to put anything else up. And I said right before the show, shoot, I need to put something up there. And I quickly scrambled and I found the Bella book, so I taped that up on the wall.
Perfect. NGSCsports.com is our home network. Our secondary home is the Leap Sports and Music Network. Ryan, where can they find that?
Oh, that's Tim's job now.
Oh, yeah, Tim.
LEEIBsports.com.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Ryan got you on the What a Manu.
Thank you.
Yes.
For this week. So people helping people. We like to do that here. Again, give us a like and a share.
I'll scratch your back. You can scratch mine.
We would appreciate that.
Would you rake my back?
I would not rake your back.
He raked my back. Yeah, no, he didn't literally rake it.
Tim, we'll start with you.
How you doing?
I just fought the internet, and if you don't know, you can check it out. The age-old debate on what do you call a s'more with no chocolate?
We've had that discussion here. We were talking about it on the pre-show, post-show. So, if you aren't a patron of 3 Count Thursday, go over there. It's only $2 a month. That's super cheap, man. $2. You can't
It's
get nothing.
50 cents a week.
Yeah. Seriously, just do it. You'll hear Tim and I discuss, and I softened my stance a little bit. I used to be very hard against your plain s'more, but I've come to a good place with it. And to find out what that good place is, you got to go to the Patreon. I'm not going to give that away for free because we had it on the Patreon.
Why do you have that face, Ryan?
Just the fact that Jim softened his stance.
Like, I'll tease it. Like, Tim, to me, is still not correct per se that it is a plain s'more.
Right.
But I've softened my harshness against him at this present time. And again, if you follow us and are a patron, you will understand that. If you are not, go find out what the hell I'm talking about. Patreon.com/3 Count Thursday. Ryan,
how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. We're doing things. We're things are here. We're doing great.
Good. Mark, before I get to you, I think you'll recognize, I think you can kind of see it, the brewery that I'm drinking from tonight. This is the Pipe Dream Hazy Imperial IPA, and it is very tasty. Very, very tasty. But intern Mark,
how you doing?
Jim, I'm doing real good. I mean, real good. Did you stop up there at Funk Brewing?
No, I didn't. I actually got this. I had to run down to the beer store in Lancaster because my brother, who lives in Florida, actually, because you can order stuff online from there and for pickup, he actually ordered me some beer from there. And I went down and I did some extra shopping and I saw this. I don't know what the hell is. Sounds like there's a hamster or something running loose on somebody's microphone.
I've heard that. It sounds like somebody's running their finger over an old trapper keeper.
Yeah, that is kind of what it sounds like. But that's where I picked this up. I still haven't. I mean, I haven't made it over to the Funk Brewing for trivia on Wednesdays. I know that because nobody wants to invite me, I guess. But
well, we could have used you last night if you knew anything about 70s.
Oh, hi, Mark.
70s
We'll get the invite when it's stupid ass Family Feud.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I think I tend to know a good bit about 70s music. I'm a fan of a lot of 70s music, but
hey,
I guess we'll never know.
Week.
I guess
I'm going to get you the invite. And
what's next?
Music,
what's
like
next week's category?
Well, it should be that Family Feud one, but according to the guy that hosted it last night, he said it's going to be 70s music next week. I'm not so sure, but this yesterday was 70s general knowledge.
Oh,
the
okay.
70s. So we didn't do too bad until it came to the movies, and then that was the end of that.
That was it.
Yep, that was it. We were done.
That was a tough round. I saw the paper. That was a tough round.
Oh,
yeah, what guess the Academy Award winner for each year?
Do you happen to have those answers still?
I'd have to go get them, but I do have them. I
Because
can go grab them if you like.
I'm pretty sure I could have done better than your team.
I bet you could have too.
Tell you what, Mark. While I do this day in wrestling history, do you want to go grab them?
Yeah,
and we can see how Tim would stack up. So I'm doing well. I got a new computer. We're running off of that. Things seem to be working.
Oh, running off the new boy tonight.
Running off the new one.
Ooh.
Like total hashtag first world problems. Setting up a new computer is a pain in the butt, especially when you have a lot of stuff on your computer. And by stuff, I don't mean adult things, Ryan. But it is just
I said corn. We live in Lancaster. You have lots of pictures of corn.
Corn pictures.
Yeah.
There's so much cum.
But it just I get just the corn.
There's
yeah.
way too much cum here.
Okay, but yeah, it is just a pain in the butt, but I'm super happy with it so far. Got it today. Was supposed to get it yesterday. Again, first world problems. It delivered 1 day later than expected. And just absolute bullshit.
Mark, I will stand here and throw the offer out to you and your team every Tuesday. Me and my guys from work go out to La Piazza, and the offer always stands. Our round 3 trivia was cereal slogans.
Oh, that sounds great.
What?
I have, yeah, cereal slogans. Real exciting. We did real good.
I love cereal slogans.
I just love cereal. I mean, I love slogans as well. I am a cereal junkie.
I feel like you would do a pretty good. Some of them are old that I've never heard of.
Like what?
I don't have the paper with me. I'd have to go find it.
What about King Vitamin? Was he on?
Uh-oh, my book fell.
Whoops, kabibble.
Oh, that's about right with the Bellas.
Now, Smokey, are you with that lighting there? It looks like you're setting up for as a DJ. Are you setting up for the Olivia Rodrigo Sour Prom or something?
DJ Smokey.
DJ Smokey, I like it.
DJ Smokey. Let me go find that paper.
Yeah,
I'll ask you about cereal trivias.
You find that one?
Paper.
Mark, go find yours. Let's do this thing if I can find the damn calendar. What am I looking for on this day? There it is. Of course, we were looking at August the 12th in pro wrestling history. We got 3 birthdays today. Terry Taylor, the Red Rooster Man himself, was born in 1955. The coach, Jonathan Coachman, born in 1973. And Fallah Bah was born today in 1985. 1972, the Super Bowl of Wrestling was held in Cleveland, Ohio at Municipal Stadium. Three rings were set up side by side, and often more than one match would be going on at a time. Attendance figures have been estimated as high as 20,000 and as low as 5,000. No reliable source seems to have agreed on a number. 3 rings, multiple matches at a time, and nobody has a clue how many people were there. How about it? 1977, the NWA and WWF titles were both defended in St. Louis, Missouri at the Kiel Auditorium. WWF champion superstar Billy Graham defeated Jimmy Valiant, while NWA world champion Harley Race fought Dory Funk Jr. to a draw. The two each captured 1 fall apiece before the time limit expired before the 3rd fall. WWF ran Oakland, California, featuring the debut of Owen Hart wrestling under a mask as the Blue Angel, defeating Barry Horowitz. The name would be changed to the Blue Blazer, of course, by the time Hart made his debut. Lou, welcome in. Lou, it's been a long time since Lou checked in with us on a live show. Good evening, Lou. How are you doing, man? Then we go to 1997. Chris Jericho defeated Alex Wright for the WCW Cruiserweight title in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This became Jericho's 2nd reign with the title. The match took place during a WCW Saturday night taping. 2007, the 3rd TNA Hard Justice pay-per-view event took place from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, in front of 900 fans. The tagline for the show was All or Nothing. The show featured 9 matches, and in the main event, TNA World and IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle defeated TNA X Division and Tag Team Champion Samoa Joe in a winner-takes-all match for the TNA World, IWGP World, X Division, and TNA World Tag Team Championships. And then finally, 2014, WWE announced the following. WWE Network goes global. The U.S. English language version of the WWE Network is available starting today on an over-the-top basis in more than 170 countries and territories, including Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, Mexico, Spain, and the Nordics, among others. Those were the events that occurred August the 12th in pro wrestling history. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, Mark, did you find your paper?
I got my paper.
All right. Ryan, did you find your paper?
I got my paper.
All right. Intern Mark, why don't we start with your paper? This is general 70s knowledge trivia, correct?
No, you weren't listening at all.
And this is round 3 was
round 3.
Specifically Academy Award for Best Picture for the year. And it starts with 1970 up to 79. It gives you 4 choices for each year.
All right.
So we had a 25% chance each time of getting it right.
All right. Let's start with 1970 and let's work our way through them.
All right. So 1970. Do you want me to give you the multiple choice or what the actual?
Oh, absolutely.
Give me the multiple choice.
Yeah, let's
so
do the multiple choice.
So 1970, the Academy Award for Best Picture, they had Patton, Love Story, Airport, or MASH, and that's MASH, M-A-S-H, like the TV show. I didn't realize that was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie first, and then it was a TV show.
Well, I'll be darned.
The answer is Patton, by the way.
I would also guess Patton.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
Well, we guessed Love Story. We were wrong because it is Patton.
1-0, baby.
There we go.
All right, 1971.
Good year.
That was a great year. We had A Clockwork Orange, The French Connection, Fiddler on the Roof, and The Last Picture Show.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Clockwork Orange.
I'm gonna go Fiddly.
It's the French Connection, boys.
See, you're good at it. It is The French Connection.
Tim, are you on the goddamn internets right in front of you?
I mean, I am on the internet, but I am not on
he
this.
reads. You gotta show your hands.
Sure.
All right, 72.
We don't trust
We
you.
had 72 is Cabaret, The Godfather, Deliverance, or I'm trying to see here. It's folded. It looks like Sounder.
It's The Godfather.
Sounder
Godfather.
movie. It was indeed The Godfather. We got
Jump
that
on
one
that hoe train.
All right, 1973. We had The Sting. The Sting.
Oh, Sting.
The Extortionist. Is that how you say that?
The
I think so.
Exorcist?
Extortionist. No,
The
it's
Exorcist.
The Extortionist.
The extortion.
No, it's The Exorcist. It's definitely The Exorcist. Cries and Whispers. There was a lot of that going on last night. The Extortionist. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
And then the American Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
American
Sting,
Graffiti.
The Exorcist. Actually, you know what it was? It was.
I think it's The Sting.
Tim, you're right. It is The Sting.
Jeez.
I went
Who
to
would
school.
guess The Sting?
I went to school for film.
Film.
Lou says, so someone that quit Facebook for almost 8 months, what I'm gathering is Mark is still an intern. Yes, Mark
Hey,
is,
welcome back, Lou.
Mark is still an intern.
Facebook still sucks.
Poor Lou.
Thing sucks.
Well, there was rumors I was going to get bumped up from intern, but it didn't happen yet.
Maybe next week when Ryan's not here. Maybe you'll get a promotion.
That might
Anyway,
be
what decade or what year are we on now? 74 or 5?
74. Boy, what a year that was. One of my favorite years. We have Chinatown, The Towering Inferno, The Conversation, and then, again, Chinatown, and The Godfather Part 2.
The only movie I've ever heard of on that list is The Godfather Part 2.
Godfather Part 2.
Chinatown.
That was The Godfather Part 2.
Sorry, Ryan.
Tim's on a roll.
Tim is on a roll. Look at him.
All right, then we had 1975. We have Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh.
We have Jaws, Nashville, and one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Cuckoo's
That's
Nest.
a lot.
Cuckoo's Nest.
I think Cuckoo's Nest as well.
And you are correct. It was the Cuckoo Nest.
So
that was a hell of a year, though. What were the other ones? Jaws. I mean, lots of blockbusters.
Nashville and Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, Dog Day Afternoon, yeah.
So I'm gonna flex. I'm a flex right here. Without you even reading me the answers, I know what 76 is.
76 is Rocky.
76 is Rocky. Yes.
So we got Rocky, Network, Taxi Driver, and All the President's Men.
Yeah,
That
Rocky.
is Rocky.
Rocky.
Now, how about 77?
I can't do 77.
Star Wars.
Nope.
We had Julia. God, who could forget Annie Hall? And The Goodbye Girl.
It's Annie Hall.
Annie Hall.
I've not seen any of them, so it beats the shit out of me.
Because I'd never even heard of Annie Hall, but she must be a sweetheart because she won the Academy Award in 1977.
I mean, I've only seen Star Wars out of those, but I'm pretty sure I knew it was Annie Hall.
All right, how about 78? We have Jim Cornette's Midnight Express. All right, it's just Midnight Express.
God
The
damn!
Deer Hunter. Heaven Can Wait, and Superman, all in 1978.
Deer Hunter.
Heaven
Deer
Can
Hunter.
Wait.
Deer Hunter.
It is indeed The Deer Hunter.
Jesus.
Christopher Walken.
Oh!
All right, we got the last.
Oh, no, that was Dice Clay.
Then we got the 1979. We have The Apocalypse Now. Isn't that what they said in Seinfeld? Apocalypse Now?
Something like that.
Film.
And then there's Norma Ray. God, she was a sweet woman. She made really good cookies. And then, speaking of Seinfeld, they had Kramer versus Kramer. And All That Jazz. 1979.
Kramer v. Kramer.
All that jazz.
All right, then we'll go with Apocalypse Now.
It was Kramer versus Kramer. I think.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Tim with the clean sweep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn, Tim.
Now,
I was
here's,
born in
there's a
86,
bonus.
by the way.
We
Impressive.
got a bonus for you.
Okay.
Ooh, a boner.
Out of the here's a boner for you. It says out of the 40 movies listed here, which
I'm
one
a
is the
sausage
highest
guy.
grossing movie? The
Jaws.
highest grossing movie of 1970s, even though it did not win an Academy Award for Best Picture.
Star Wars.
I don't think Star Wars was as big of a theatrical hit. I think it might be. I think it's either MASH or Apocalypse Now.
Ryan
So
says
it's thinking
Jaws.
Jaws.
Well, Jaws wasn't on the list, was it?
Yeah, Jaws was 76. What was it, Mark?
75.
75.
Star Wars was the answer for the highest grossing
Nice.
movie of the 70s, even though it did not win an Academy Award for
Wow.
Best Picture.
I believe that the term blockbuster was actually because of Star Wars, because the lines began to wrap around the block.
See, I thought that was actually for Jaws.
No, I believe you might be right. You might be right. I always thought it was Star Wars, though. I could have been given some false information when I was a child, but I believe it
I'll
was
have
Star
to look that up.
So, Mark, in 3 words or less, Lou says, if we have time, how does Mark feel about Lidditz Haas's closing? Is it a part of his heartbreak? A lot of Haas's closing. Excuse me.
Yeah, we lost the one up here in Elizabethtown. Well, I'll tell you what.
So
I didn't. I stopped at the one in Annville, which isn't too far.
Yeah, you still got that.
You know what? I'm almost happy that some of them closed because the prices keep going up and the salad bar stays the same, and I'm getting sick of it.
Oh, Mark's getting
I
a
don't
little,
feel
like, a
guilty.
little frustrated with the old
I'm
Haas's.
getting a
What's
little
up, Tim?
frustrated.
So the term blockbuster dates back to like the 1940s.
No, then
Yeah,
I
so
would-
yeah, that was about a bomb. Like it was specifically coined in
Wrong, sir.
film because of a movie.
Bombardier or Bombarder. Bombarder.
Matt Hottenstein. Mark, is that a 60-watt bulb you put in? I can finally see you. Well, you're in a different you're in a different location in Hottenstein Estates. What did you say it was? The South Study?
I'm in the South Study tonight. I did put a new bulb in. I upgraded from 40 watt to 60.
Well, it's paying off. It's paying off in dividends. So Ryan, let's hit us with some of your cereal trivia before we get to all the wrestling stuff of the week.
Lucky Charms.
So you can just Blockbuster Entertainment on the Wikipedia. The Blockbuster area was in 1975, around Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, either way,
2 years later, a film came along and did better than Jaws and was really coined heavily during Star Wars.
Okay. So
Jim, we're both correct. We're both wrong.
Right. We're both right. We're both right and wrong at the same time.
Kobe.
All right, Tim, let's see how you do with My Heart. It is cereal slogans.
I'm going to eat, goddammit.
This is real exciting. For example, kid tested, mother approved would obviously be Kicks.
Kicks, yeah.
That's Kicks for sure.
Also,
Correct.
by the way, Berry Kicks still holds up.
No, fucking disgusting.
Not at
I
all.
like Berry
Still holds up.
Not at all.
Berry Kicks.
So some of these are older that only Mark might get.
Ryan doesn't stray too far off the basic bitch kicks.
No, you give me
Real
fucking
shocking.
flavor and kick.
Cherry Coke.
Oh,
What the
Smokey.
fuck are you?
Mama Smokey would only buy regular Kicks.
Ryan, we can't hear you, bud. Did you hit a mute button by accident?
Did I mute myself?
Yeah, there you go. Now you're back. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
talking
you
the whole effing time.
You went radio silent for a second after we said
So
about
good.
Berry Kicks.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I got kicked off. I don't know.
And you're muted again. What the hell's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing, Ryan? I can't hear you.
It's usually me that has the problems.
Yeah, dude, can't hear you one freaking bit.
Come on, Smokey.
Oh, we got nothing. Oh no.
Now, how about now?
There we go. Don't touch anything.
All right, real quick.
Act like you're married. Don't touch anything.
I'm married. Sounds easy. Apple or cinnamon? Who will be the Winnamin?
What?
That's one of them.
Apple was that Apple Cinnamon Cheerios?
No, that is incorrect.
I think it's got to be Apple Jacks.
That is Apple Jacks.
Oh,
I told you some are old. Mark
God.
might only get them. This
Okay.
next one has the cereal in it, so I will say the word blank where the cereal name belongs.
Okay.
Blank big. Yeah. It's not small. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Should I ring in? Because I know the answer.
You can
Yeah,
ring
go
in.
ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
It's honeycombs.
Honeycomb big. Yeah.
Dude,
They're not
I haven't had
small.
honeycombs in so
No.
long.
Those boxes are fucking huge. It's the biggest box I've ever seen.
God.
Oh, they're gigantic.
You haven't bought cereal at Walmart.
Number 3, that's true. Taste the
Costco.
joy in every spoonful. Y'all thought this was going to be easy too, huh?
I really
Taste the
did.
joy in every spoon.
Is Raisin Bran?
Nope.
I'm thinking
Nope.
grape nuts.
Grape no, there's no joy in eating grape nuts.
Yeah,
it's
well-
That is
cardboard.
honey bunches of oats.
Oh, that's like one of my
They're pretty
favorite
good.
fucking cereals
Yes, taste the
too.
joy, yes.
Fuck me.
Now this one I didn't go. No, this was an older one as well. The taste adults have grown to love.
Oh, I know this.
Cheerios.
Yeah.
It is not.
Not?
Regular old
It is
Cheerios
not. No.
Is it?
No.
Is it Raisin Bran?
It is not Raisin Bran. It is Frosted Flakes. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. The taste adults have grown to love.
Fuck, man, I'm bad at this.
All right, we're gonna get back on track. They're ABC delicious.
Alphabet cereal.
Alphabets.
Yeah, it's
Loved
gotta
it.
be alphabets.
Excuse me.
This one, and I'm gonna read it exactly how it is. Gotta have my pops.
Corn Pops?
Corn Pop.
Corn
Yeah,
pops.
Corn Pops.
Oh,
Real
dude,
easy.
how good are they?
I
the
love Corn
taste. The taste you can see.
Folgers Crystals.
Close.
Taste you can see.
The taste you can see.
No fucking clue.
That is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, son of a gun!
You can see the swirls.
Man,
is that right?
Here's an older one. Stays crunchy even in milk.
Oh, is it Cocoa Puffs?
No, sir.
Son of a bitch.
What is that one?
I'm
That
bad
sounds
at
really
this.
familiar.
Oh, that pisses me off. That
It's
pisses
like,
me right off.
What was that,
Is it
Mark?
Captain Crunch.
It is Captain Crunch.
No shit.
Yes, that shit'll cut
Oh,
your mouth
Yeah,
whether
no
it's
kidding.
dry or
Yeah,
wet.
Doing that, it's like fucking eating glass.
How do they cram all that gram?
Golden grams.
Golden Graham.
Golden
Oh,
grams.
yeah, Gold Grams.
Smiles all around.
Oh,
Smiles all around.
that Honey Smacks.
No, sir.
Is it Sugar
Fruit
Smacks?
Loops.
No, right side or right shape. That is Cheerios all around.
Yeah,
It's an old cereals, yes.
See?
Jeez.
And the bonus one was follow my nose, it always knows.
Oh, that's Fruit Loops for sure.
That is Fruit Loops with
Toucan
Toucan Sam. Yeah.
There it is.
Andy
Yeah.
Weinberg knows about that.
I
Oh,
won't
come
say.
on.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
Unreal, Mark. Why would you?
Unbelievable.
Why would you say anything like that? I gotta
We
get
felt
out.
we felt real good going into that round. We did all right. I think we did 7 in the bonus, so we only missed 3.
So is this back in the bar portion?
It is
of
in the
it?
bar, yeah. The food
gonna-
usually
I'm
gives
gonna-
me the shits.
What
Just to be
doesn't?
fair. That's you know what? That's a good point.
What the? I mean, like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but
That's a good point.
Hey, maybe
I gotta get out to one of these trivia nights.
weeks.
I feel like it's really obvious. Not a lot of us watched a lot of wrestling this week. Is that accurate?
That might be accurate.
I mean, I feel like we're
Which is a perfect reason why we get to this.
Since John Moxley, Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Recount Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
this is a lot to ask. But could we change the words hard look to like passing glance? These 5 guys on Facebook
Take a
read
soft
about
look,
it,
like a soft look, maybe.
read about it on Twitter.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think we can fit look up results on Bleacher Report into the lyrics. Well, look, most news is embellished anymore at best. So that's what we do here. We embellish our weekly rankings every week or most weeks.
I try to watch it whatever entertains me the most, and that's my go-to.
This week,
90 Day Fiance.
Yes, I picked Angela #1 this week.
Oh, what the
Andre
fuck stupid show did I see a commercial for that Mrs. Big Jim looked at me and goes, Mark would watch that, wouldn't he? And I can't.
The Cody Rhodes show?
No, I'm going to watch that. It looks terrible, and I'm going to watch every second of it.
Is it called Crossroads? Is that what it's called?
Roads to the Top.
Roads to the top.
To the top. It is like it literally looks like generic Ms. and Mrs. And I'm going to watch every fucking episode of that show. I don't care.
Now, is Brandy, is she Brandy Rhodes?
She is
over
Brandy
there.
Rhodes.
Okay, because it's weird to have Cody now have the Rhodes last name for this television show, right?
He has it. He had it back on AEW recently. I thought, didn't he? Did he? He
Oh,
finally got his name.
Oh, did that? Oh, I didn't know that.
That's months
Yeah, it's
old.
been a month
Yeah,
or
Nick
so.
Really?
Nick Khan
Yeah.
went, Vince, you're not paying for this anymore.
Oh, that's fair.
He checked that off the list as well.
He's got the purse strings.
Let's Matt not with us this week. We'll look at his #3. He had Jake something.
He doesn't even know the guy's last name.
Right? Absolutely absurd. Why is he even allowed to do this?
Ridiculous.
Jake something. Is it Roberts? Maybe.
Maybe not Atlas. #2, Dakota Kai. and number 1, Chris Bay for Matthew.
Would anyone know why Matt picked Chris Bay?
Nope.
He won
100% honest.
Did he just take the X Division championship?
The X Division championship.
Did he?
Chris Bay.
Bay.
Chris
Bay. I know he also joined Bullet Club.
Sure.
Well,
Not a
Matt's
clue.
Really getting into Impact Wrestling, so maybe I bet it has something to do with Impact Wrestling.
I was actually
I bet
shocked
it does.
that he had a NXT superstar on his list, because he said he was very, very not WWE this week. But anybody who wants to go next? Anyone want to go next?
I can go next.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Get him, Smokey.
So my number 3 is Daniel Garcia. He faced the Wheeler Uter at IWTV 100 in a grueling match. The time ran out. Did he get Uta to tap? Did he tap? Did he not? Did he tap?
Uta.
Officially, he did not. He did not officially. And then the dude went on and he wrestled, I think, Darby All-In at AEW last night.
No idea.
This is the guy that wrestled the guy with the face paint?
Oh,
with the Sting. I think he was in that match. Or maybe that was next week. He said, now I don't know. Something happened with Daniel Garcia in AEW.
No, that was this week.
That was this week. You have Dante Martin, number 2. I think this was Dante's coming out party. Really, what a crazy match to start AEW Dynamite.
Real good.
Loved everything about it.
It peaked early. It peaked early.
He, wow. Wowie wow. He wrestled the Elite. Loved the Elite. Jim, you're a big fan. Dude, you got to admit they're really good at what they're doing.
I mean,
they're great at.
I hate them. I will agree with that. I fucking hate them. So,
but is it because of what they do? That's got to be it, right? Like, it works.
I mean, I've never been a Young Bucks guy. I've never been an Omega guy. So, but I mean, every week when that music hits, when I see those
How
guys
great is that music?
with their dangly headbands,
Oh, I love it.
And finger poke McFinger bang or twinkle
so
toes
good.
finger bang or whatever Cornette calls them. Whenever I see them, I want to punch my TV. So
Love it. Love it.
I guess they're doing well. They're
So
doing
good.
their
They
job.
do what they're supposed to do. Dante Martin was a huge star in that match. I can't wait to see more of him on AEW. And my number 1 is Wheeler Uter. Again, a 60-minute match. He retained the IWTV 100 or the IWTV Championship and the IWTV's 100th defense of said championship. 60-minute main event was just phenomenal. Absolutely worth the watch if you have the IWTV. If you don't, it's like $10 a month, right?
Right.
It's pretty cheap. Let's support independent wrestling. And then he went on and he teamed with Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor last night. Ultimately in defeat against the Hardy Boys and Private Party. But Wheeler Uter had the best week ever.
There you go. Tim or Mark, you want to go next? You want me to go next?
Tim, you should probably go since you watched that IWTV stuff I was just talking about.
I sure did.
All right, Tim, go ahead.
Tim.
You can add a little bit more color for me.
So for number 3, I picked Mr. and Mrs. Johnny Wrestling on the announcement of their lovely little baby coming soon. Also, they were fantastic in the new version of NXT we have now, where it's more sports entertainment and less wrestling, I guess. Next up, we also have for number 2, the aforementioned Daniel Garcia. Would have been number 1 had he able to close the deal on Wheeler Yuta at IWTV 100 for the newly christened Internet Wrestling World Championship. Now officially christened by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And that is my number 1, Wheeler Yuta, the IWTV World Champion, able to successfully defend in a time limit draw against Mr. Red Death himself, Daniel Garcia. It was an actual really good match. Daniel Garcia hurt himself like 40 minutes into the match, hurt his wrist, and still was able to like put together a fantastic match considering that most of his offense is submission based.
Okay.
Worth a watch for sure.
Let's see. Lou here says he hadn't watched wrestling in a while. Last night when the Elite hit and Darby Allin's theme, he just had a feeling it meant something. Been a long time for that feeling. Yeah, doing some good stuff. Marky, do you want to go? Do you want me to go next?
You know what? I could go and I'll let you close things out. Is that all right, Big Jim?
All
Or are you
right.
upset?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. You go ahead, Mark.
All right. So I number 3. I wrote it down. Oh, look, it's right there. I can see it, so I don't have to remember. So this was a tough one because I'll tell you what, I really enjoy Mr. and Mrs. Wrestling and Indie on NXT. I love what they're doing. I love it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
But they didn't actually wrestle. Hi, boys. I don't think they actually wrestled this week, so I went with Dakota Kai. She's taking on Raquel Welch coming up here in NXT TakeOver for the Women's Championship. So I'm going to go with Dakota. She had a great match. Now, number 2, you may be a little surprised, but I don't dislike him, but I'm not always a huge fan. I went with Randy Orton. I was entertained by him on Monday Night Raw this week with Matt Riddle, just call me Riddle, and that Team Arcade bro, and the fans really seem happy to have him back. So that was nice. And number 1, and I'm a big fan, I like Pete Dunne. I think he does a very well job in the ring, a well done job. And
see what you did there.
He was wrestling that Russian Dragoon, or what's his name? He has a match with Walter coming up.
Ivan Drago.
Mr.
Yeah,
Drago.
my wife's all fired up for that match coming up at TakeOver.
Oh,
You bet she is.
Boy, Big Jim, you better
hit the music.
I don't have
not that music.
I know I don't have it on the ready. I'm working on it. I'm just
Is that not board available? You need to put that on the board.
I should. I'll have it in a second. Mark, keep talking.
So then, so I went with Pete Dunne. I'm a big fan of the Bruiserweight. I like him a lot. But you can't beat what Johnny and Candice and Indy and Dexter McDexter is doing there. He's in love with Indy, and it's fantastic. Good stuff. I like NXT. This is Big Jim come in the studio. She hears that.
Now, Jim, you said you were doing some home improvements, I believe. Maybe a fire pole down to the studio. You just see Mrs. Big Jim slide down.
And Mrs. Big Jim will come right down that pole.
No, Big Jim is coming down that pole.
Salsa.
Big Jim.
There's way too much coming.
Big Jim will slide down the pole.
He was invited to come.
In my face.
He was invited to come. Right on the cock. The peacock.
Right on the cock.
That is.
Yeah, my finger can go inside.
Did he have an invite or not? Was he invited or he just show up on his own?
He was invited to come.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so my 3 this week, Dante Martin. When you're in the ring with, as much as I fucking hate them, Omega and the Young Bucks, if you can be the shining star out of that match, you've done pretty well. Dante Martin, I think, 20 years old, 21 years old, something like that. Huge career in front of him, obviously, but a great match last night. Number 2, Dakota Kai. Really getting into a prime spot for TakeOver coming up here in a couple, or I guess next Sunday night. Big week. And then number 1, Pete Dunne. You get a victory over a is Ivan Drago the champion, or he's competing for the title or something?
Isn't Walter the champion?
Walter's the champion.
Yeah, Walter's champion.
Hopefully my wife didn't hear me say that.
He's number 1 contender.
number one contender. You get a victory over the number one contender, Pete Dunne, in a really great match on the New Look NXT show this week. Pete Dunne, my number one of the week. Tim, where does that leave us for the week? And then we will look at the for the year so far.
Sure.
Week 18 we are in, by the way.
For the week that was, a lot of interconnected parts of very
look at all them points.
I know there
Tons
so
of
many
people.
people. Yeah, so many people. A lot of points spread around per se. But at number one, it is both Wheeler Yuta and Pete Dunne. At number two, it's Dakota Kai. Chris Bay picking up third with a first place vote. And fourth is tied with Dante Martin and Daniel Garcia. What does that do for our top five? Relatively nothing. Top five stays exactly the same. The only addition now would be Wheeler Yuta and Pete Dunne tied for 10th with the rest of the first place vote getters on the year so far.
Look at that.
Oh, including Cool Kyle. Yeah, Cool Kyle's on the list.
But yeah, that is where we stand after week number 18.
Since John Moxley, Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. Become Thursday, brings to you the wrestler on the week.
3 count question of the week.
So obviously we are leading up to SummerSlam next Saturday night in Las Vegas. Not a Sunday this year. Don't forget that. But I had the thought, if you could change the result, and here's the question: if you could change the result of one SummerSlam main event, dating us all the way back to 1988, if you could change the result of one SummerSlam main event, which would you choose? John, anybody want to kick us off for this question of the week?
This was the easiest question of the week in the history of questions of the week.
Wow, that is a pretty bold claim.
The answer is the goddamn abomination of a main event in SummerSlam 1994, when you had Undertaker versus fake Undertaker in what might be the worst SummerSlam main event I can ever think of. Cool storyline, awful payoff, shitty match. Blur.
Wait, so you would have
I just wouldn't have that main event.
But the question was if you could change the result, not if you could
That's not what you just fucking read to me. Well, then, yeah, I'd have the under. I don't fucking know. Then I fucked up.
The question of the week, as per the photographic on our social medias.
You know, I don't look at that shit. You got to check the notes that you sent.
The result of one SummerSlam main event.
Yes, I would change that one, and the result would be another match.
Okay. All right. Well, you saved
your
yourself.
I thought the same thing Ryan did. I at first, but I went back and I corrected it. So
okay, well, at least you did that, Mark.
But I had the same thing. I thought just completely eliminate a main event. And I thought it was easy.
Well, yeah, if we were going to not have
Diesel.
one of the main events, I think that one's the easy one.
Well, I muffed up, boys. What can I say?
Well, I sent you the list of all the main events while we discuss it.
And that's how I came up with this.
Well, there we go. What's in the mug tonight, Ryan?
Mountain Dew.
So in the Undertaker versus Undertaker main event match, you would have had the Undertaker win instead.
That's correct.
Of the Undertaker.
That's good.
Thank you for getting it, Mark.
Tim or Mark, do you want to go? You want me to go? I can go. I'll go.
I don't mind going.
I'll go. I'll go. We'll let you guys. To me, there's only one answer here, and I go back to the summer of 1993. I go back to the summer of Lex Luger, and I would not have Yokozuna beat Lex Luger. Think of how much stuff could have been different if Lex Luger had won the WWF Championship in August of 1993. Do we get the first episode of Monday Nitro with Lex going back? Like this could have been everything. This could have been Lex Luger, a WCW guy, coming in, changing himself from the narcissist who was staring at himself in the mirrors and the hot sun of Las Vegas WrestleMania 9. He gets on the Lex Express, goes driving around across the country, body slams Yokozuna on the 4th of July at the USS Intrepid, and you go all the way to SummerSlam? I mean, come on!
He won by disqualification.
Luger won the match.
He didn't win the title, though.
Oh, he won by
the title. New WWF champion.
So you're changing it to so you're changing it to Yokozuna wins per the question. You're changing the result to Yokozuna wins.
The result is Lex Luger becomes new WWF champion. He'll be your hero.
He was. He beat the guy.
He didn't win. He didn't become champion, though, Ryan. Think what could have happened if Lex Luger would become WWF champion that summer. Lex Luger, new WWF champion. That's my change. That's my change or result of his SummerSlam main event. Give him that title. See what happens. Mark, Tim, why don't you go next? See where we're going to go before I jumped in line here.
So my answer is the main event of SummerSlam 90.
Oh, shit.
I would have had Ravishing Rick Rude beat Warrior for the WWF Championship in the cage.
Damn.
Okay.
Wow. Rude, one of the best ever to never be WWE champion.
Well, that's fair.
100%.
He had the Warriors number across the board.
His wife across his crotch.
Yes. And I feel like that is the answer of all answers. Ravishing Rick Rude becomes the WWF champion at SummerSlam 90.
Dang, I did not see anybody taking SummerSlam 90 on that one.
No, that's a good point. I like that.
I like that. I actually like that a lot. I like that a lot. Tim?
Actually, I'd had to really think. I thought Hogan would have main evented that just because it was Hogan.
Well, that was the
double main event, right?
Double main event. The Hulk Hogan versus the Earthquake.
The Canadian Earthquake.
God, I fucking love that SummerSlam. It's such a good fucking SummerSlam.
That was a good one.
Mark, what do you got?
Well, Jim, I hope your hold on to your socks is going to knock them off you. I picked the same one as Tim. I really did. I picked
unbelievable.
I did. I looked at that list and I was like, Rude should have won the title in that cage. You know, it wasn't too long after that then Rude left the company and had a really good run as champion in WCW with the big gold belt, and then they brought in the WCW title. But Rude was such a good heel, and he made the Warrior look like $1 million. But,
what the hell is even that?
He did.
Rude should have had that moment, and then, like I said, shortly after that, he ended up in WCW and had a really good main event run as the champion.
Jeez.
Oddly enough, I believe Rick Rude only had 2 opponents at SummerSlam. He had Warrior twice, and he had Junkyard Dog.
That sounds right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, intense.
No kidding. Wow. I did not think half of the dais was going to have SummerSlam 90. I'm shook. I'm rocked.
I'm shooketh.
I'm shooketh. Looking at a couple of responses here. Tim on Twitter said Vader defeats HBK in 96.
Would have been a good one.
It would have hinged on them letting Vader be Vader. Would have been massive back at the time. He said, as someone who was 10 at the time, Vader was still terrifying to most of their audience. The board checked in, says Nexus up. I think that was 2010 Team WWE versus Team Nexus. Charlie checked in. He said Shawn over Hulk, which would have been 05. Let's see. Then jumping over to our Facebook page, Devin said he would have had Nexus win over WWE as well. And Nick said Michael should have gone over on Hogan in 2005. No need for Hulk to win that match at all. I don't think Michaels needed to win that match either. I think it's a fairly inconsequential one as well. One of the things that stuck out to me, because I actually went through and I went and made a list of all the main events from 2012 through 2020. There was only twice that Brock Lesnar was not in a SummerSlam main event. So it started 2012, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. 2013, John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. 2014, of course, the murder of John Cena. Lesnar just throwing him around like a rag doll. 2015, Lesnar versus The Undertaker. 16, Lesnar versus Orton. 17, Lesnar versus Strowman versus Reigns versus Samoa Joe. 2018, Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. 19, Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And, of course, last year, Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. So very Lesnar heavy over the last about decade here for the WWE. But obviously doesn't appear with 1 week to go that we're going to get old Brocky Brock for the summer spectacle this year. But yeah, very, very Brock heavy over the years for the WWE. But we probably dig up one more SummerSlam question for next week. Any other thoughts on this before we go to the break, gentlemen? No. All right. Let's pause here then. Hear from our networks. Of course, always go to 3countthursday.com, but we will hear from our networks. So we come back, talk Alexa Bliss. We'll talk the labors of Jericho, and I'm sure we'll get into some more fun. Stick with us. 3 Count Thursday Live.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
Are you looking for a place to listen to your favorite music and sports? Look no further. WLSN, the Lieb Sports and Music Network, is a web-based music and sports network. Our network was created to provide authentic, high-energy entertainment through live streaming to a national audience. We play popular music while hosting podcasts from all over the world. Curious? Check us out on the web at liebsports.com. That's LEEIB sports.com. Or find us on the TuneIn Radio app. Got Alexa? Just say, Alexa, play WLSN on TuneIn. WLSN is America's #1 blog-themed sports and music network.
Welcome back. 3 Count Thursday Live, August the 12th, 2021. We are glad to be with you. And Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm sure we've all seen it by now. Before we get into this this next topic point here is Keith Lee releasing about a 9-minute video today on his YouTube page detailing the reason why he was off of Raw for between 5 and 6 months, had contracted COVID. It was the inflammation of the heart, which we've seen and heard as an after effect of having COVID-19. So he kind of went into detail about that basically they were like, look, if you do anything more than like go for a walk, you could literally just like fall over dead. So it is obviously great that Keith Lee back in the WWE now. He's back and he's healthy. But I think this is a reminder, and I don't know. Hopefully, it will have an impact on how fans treat these sort of situations. But it's just a reminder when if your favorite wrestler or superstar kind of disappears off the radar for a bit, that it might not be as simple as the company they work for doesn't know what to do with them. So maybe support the person. It's okay to want them back on your TV and back into the storylines, but there are certainly a number of situations that could be a reason why your favorite wrestler is not on TV every week. We got to remember these folks are people first and foremost before they are wrestlers and superstars. So just keep that in mind each and every week. But glad to hear Keith Lee on the mend and back with us on a live and weekly basis. But jumping back in here again, last week we were discussing the unfortunate release of The Fiend, and we kind of stumbled down the road to what happens with Alexa Bliss. We've seen her as this extension of the Fiend character, and now you have Alexa and the Lily doll, and she's winking at Dewdrop in the middle of matches, even with fans back in the mix. But the thing we kind of fell into that we didn't have time to cover last week is, how does Alexa get back to being Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss? Like she's kind of this mythical whatever now, but at some point that's going to end, at least you would think. How does she get back to being Alexa Bliss? Can she get back to being Alexa Bliss? Does anybody want to start us off here?
I hate the gimmick. The sooner it happens, the better. I don't even care how they do it. They can have her trot out to the fucking music, or I don't know, just have her snap out of it and be like, what the hell was that? And then just be Little Miss Bliss.
I think here we go. We got a check in here from the BGB group. Having a hell of a show tonight. Welcome in. It's always good to see some new faces interacting with us. Yeah, if you interact with us, we'll answer questions and things. But Ryan, I think you'll like this one. And I'll have to step out here for just a second. But I saw somebody tweet that during the draft, or she should just show up on SmackDown.
Love it.
As her old self. And then when they go, Alexa, what? And she just goes, oh, I had a case of the Mondays.
Oh, the Mondays. You had to fuck it up with that, Jim.
Jim say,
I hope you
BBJ
break your toilet.
No, not BBJ. Big Gold Belt Group.
I thought BBJ checked in. I got all excited.
So do you think, I guess another way to ask the question would be, do you think there's any way that we can get old Alexa Bliss back? Or is she kind of stuck in this new lily tide form of herself?
I hope not. I'm not even joking. I don't have her get hit in the head and be like, wow, and just be normal again. I really don't give a shit. Have Tamina super kick her. You can even fake storyline that Tamina's crazy dangerous and probably really kicked her hard and she's back. I don't even give a shit. However you have to do it.
I'm guessing He wants you to make the cheek noise.
I'm not going to do it again.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not a fucking circus clown.
Lou,
you can have her go snorkeling. Have her scuba and come up too fast. And something popped in her head and she's fucking back to normal. Why is Alexa snorkeling? I don't know. Anything to get her away from this gimmick.
What if maybe,
I think that's fair.
Perhaps this winter she could be out walking on some ice and slip and fall.
Love
maybe
it.
Thought out by her scientists. Perhaps this new world that she finds herself in scares and confuses her.
Okay, this is not the Little Mermaid, Mark.
Well, but you said you didn't care how it happened.
It's just reverse Undertaker, biker taker, Undertaker. So she goes, there we go.
Oh, so she comes out on a motorcycle. All right.
She, but like it goes from like being normal to like the undead to just go back to normal.
I am the American bad bitch. And she just comes out on her bike. I like it, Lou.
Nope. I meant to hit that one.
Yeah, put her with Natty. That's fine. They can be the bad Bettys.
So I think if there is any way that she becomes herself again,
Natty would need a trike.
It has to be some form of like destruction of Lily, right? Like burning Lily, or that's like her urn, right?
Kind of. Yeah, it's at least it appears to be.
Honest to God, you could have the cleaning crew at any arena just throw that doll away and that be the end of it, and I'd be like, yep, that's fine with me.
I've heard like some rumors that there's talks about Lily becoming like coming to human form.
Done.
Like
we upset him.
Ryan, are you there? Are you there, big guy? I fucking like I really loved this, obviously, when the Fiend was still with us in the WWE. I didn't even necessarily like I don't hate that it's still continuing beyond it, but I am not advocating for the Thunderdome. I mean, let me make that clear. I am not advocating for a Thunderdome. Although if things keep progressing, we may be back there. But
Don't you say it.
I didn't say it. It just said it could happen. This gimmick worked better in the confines of a controlled environment like the Thunderdome. They had the doll, they had Lily wink in a match with Dewdrop this past Monday on Raw. Like, I get it. It's on the screen and in the arena. It's on the Tron. But like,
can we get confirmation that it was on the Tron?
I would assume it is.
I would assume it is not.
Really? See, I would assume that it was.
No.
Because then otherwise, what's Dewdrop reacting to?
Exactly. It makes the people at home or in the arena wonder what she saw.
Yes, and
the WWE is a television product. It's not meant for the live audience.
Because we've all been there. When the Undertaker comes out, there's lightning and things on Raw on the TVs that aren't in person, and things like that. So like, I get it. There's a degree of things that we see on TV that we don't see live in person. But yeah, I don't know if it, and I wish I would have known somebody that was at Raw this past week, but like it feels like they're having trouble with what to do with this gimmick, this character, this creation, now that we're back in front of live shows. So like I think there has to be some way, I thought if Nikki Ash was not Nikki Ash, if she was still Nikki Cross, I thought there could have been some degree of like who was the therapist with
Dr. Shelby.
Right, like it could have been something along those lines where Nikki Cross seeks out a therapist or something for her friend Alexa and helps her through it or something like that. But like there's got to be some sort of catalyst. There has to be something that like brings her out of this, because like you go back to like when the Fiend first like targeted Alexa Bliss on Friday Night SmackDown, when like she's in the ring and like the Fiend is like approaching her, trying to do the mandible claw and all, and then like it morphed into where we are. Like there has to be some sort of exit point, you would think. Like I don't think you can just like show up on one Monday as Little Miss Bliss. I know, Ryan, you don't care either way. As long as we get out of this, you don't care either way. But like there's to me there has to be some exit points. There has to be some sort of catalyst for a change. And Tim, maybe you're right. Maybe it is something as somebody gets rid of the doll, destroys the doll. Because maybe it is. Maybe it's like the Undertaker's urn sort of a thing.
I mean, also you kind of have to think, and I mentioned this while you were away, is there any way getting away from this? Like, does Alexa Bliss go back to normal? Because, I mean, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure she's selling more merch now than she was before.
Probably.
It is a way to progress the Fiend without having the Fiend.
Sure.
And the fans dig that part. Like,
sure.
I
think fans I feel like fans like,
I mean, they're really digging the Dewdrop feud for sure. They're really into that.
Apparently the Alexa upstairs heard me and started playing music. I just got a text.
Was it the Imperium theme?
I hope so. If it is, I'll be disappearing again for about 30 seconds.
That's it.
Oh, she played country. Well, then I'll be sticking right here. You're right. She probably is definitely making, and I think people love Miss Bliss. I don't want to upset the devices in the other portion of the
Alexa.
Yeah. So I think fans love her. So like what she does, I think people are going to love. I think like you saw the reaction to her the first Money in the Bank weekend when she came out for the match. Like I think people generally like love her and want to love what she's doing, but like I feel like even that might have a limit if and maybe it's getting away from. And I hate saying this because, man, I thought this was going to be so good when Eva Marie came back with Dewdrop, and eventually, like, the heat on that gimmick when Dewdrop turns on Eva Marie is just going to be great. And I think it, like, to me, it's just that whole thing has like go away heat on me. Like, it's bad.
Not good.
It is bad. I wanted it to be good so bad. I really did. So maybe it's just getting away from those two. I don't know. Like and again, like it's one of those things where she kind of has that Fiend feel where you don't need her in the women's title picture, but what she's doing right now, it doesn't feel great. The whole thing doesn't feel great. So I think it's the doll. I think it comes down to Lily, whether it's because like Lily talks to her, like Lily's kind of this, this solid ground, so to speak, for her that she's like attached to. So if it's somebody destroying the doll or something like that, it kind of breaks this.
So do you think the doll like grounds her? So she is like a reverse Al Snow.
Sure. So yeah, kind of along those lines. Because it does, like, she, you know, she talks to her like she was, because isn't Lily like what she was talking to when she was on the swing talking to, it was her little Jimmy, and then the doll became a thing.
Right.
So yeah, I think if you can get rid of Lily, I think Alexa Bliss becomes Alexa Bliss again.
Maybe. No guarantee.
But if you can't, now, here's the other part of the question: if you can't get her back out of this, and it stops working,
fire her. That's what they do everybody else.
Like, is there no other? Is there no other solution for her?
She can go to AEW, be Lexi Bliss, and then come back in 3 years bigger than she ever was.
I think when she's done with WWE, she's done.
Yeah, I don't think I think she's somebody that doesn't go anywhere else either. I kind of agree with you there.
Live off that Ryan Cabrera money.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say that much, but it's implied. Like she doesn't. I don't think she has to wrestle. I think she's choosing to wrestle because when she's done, she's probably gonna go be a mom. Like,
right?
That makes sense.
What band is Ryan Cabrera in?
Ryan Cabrera.
Artist. He had a really popular song, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of what it is right now, but it was definitely very popular. You've heard it for sure, Jim.
I'm sure I have. Let me see.
Yeah, you're a big Ryan Cabrera fan.
Huge.
All the way down.
Was he?
All the way down.
All the way down. Was he on American Idol?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
X Factor?
Nope. I think that was that Justin fella.
On the way. All right, let me see if I can pull this up.
We're gonna get banned in Sweden.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, Sweden, and Sri Lanka.
That's it, Mark.
I hate YouTube ads.
Going down.
All the way down.
All the way. Here I go.
You got to get to the chorus.
You got to get the chorus for sure.
That's all the way down. That's Ryan Cabrera. I recognize that anywhere.
I don't know if I've ever heard this, to be honest with you. Also, whoever made the lyric video for this spelled through as thorough, but so somebody fucked that one up.
I feel like that's most YouTube lyric videos.
It's either the wrong lyric or
it's always the wrong there.
Well, that's a problem. Well,
it's hard.
That's a problem well beyond YouTube.
It's very difficult.
But yeah, I don't think she goes anywhere else. And here, like, yeah, she could go away from the WWE for a little while and then even come back eventually. But yeah, I think she'll always be a WWE. But yeah, it's how long of a shelf life do you think this current version of Alexa has? Like, I don't think Ryan's
WrestleMania.
Like, 3 weeks. You think it goes that long? Damn. Yeah,
the WWE will definitely make it last that long.
Especially since we have a superhero or almost a superhero, and we have a super villain in Alexa Bliss.
Oh, you got a good point.
And they have a history together. Alexa can absolutely win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yep, that's a WrestleMania match.
with her Lily powers. And you have Nikki ASH finally become a superhero, and you get Super Nikki versus Alexa at height of her powers, Lily powers.
That is the payoff with Nikki, right? There will eventually be Super Nikki.
There has to be.
Right.
It's like Eric Young. Like,
right. Otherwise, why are we here?
Yeah. Rosie eventually became just Rosie.
Right.
He stopped being the SHIT.
Yeah, his training ended. He passed.
He did pass.
Ryan, and you're still not Team Ash?
No, absolutely not. That shit's trash too. It's like the WWE is like, Ryan, we really don't want you to tune into Raw.
So you understand that like the Nikki ASH character isn't for you, right?
Oh, I totally get that.
Okay.
Right. So like when enough characters are not for you, that show eventually becomes not for me anymore then. That has to happen. Like I cannot just keep being like, well, that character is not for me. And this character is not for me. And I get the Alexa Bliss character is for me, the me's of professional wrestling. I just don't like it.
I don't
That's
care
not-
for it either. To be
that's not-
completely fair.
Geared toward like children or like to sell dolls like the Nikki ASH figure is. I get that. But like the Charlotte character is becoming stale pretty quick again. Rhea Ripley on the main roster really isn't doing much for me.
She's got whiplash right now.
Drew McIntyre, just
Tim
the
Love.
sword thing, just don't fucking like. There's a lot on
Let me
Raw that
tell
I'm
you a
just like.
story
"Ugh."
about my sword.
I like the story about the sword. Like I like all of that stuff. Do you want to know what lost me about it?
Was it the motorcycle that they had to sell because they made the toy like 6
No.
fucking months ago?
He's
So-
got plaid trunks now.
So Drew has Angela, named after his wife or his mom,
His dear mother.
his dear mother. And so this week on Raw, he comes out. He's got Angela. He hoists her up. He puts her into the fake rock. And you think that's it. Nope. He stabs it into the rock to pull it out of the rock and carry it to the ring. Why? Because when you stab it, that's when the pyro goes off. No.
Was
No.
there like a children's book about a guy and a sword? A Disney movie,
Sword.
perhaps?
Yeah, the sword and the stone.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
The sword was already in the stone.
But yeah, like now if the sword was there in the rock when he comes out and he's strong enough to pull it out.
Right. Why are you stabbing it in
and then pulling it out again?
Pull it out. And like that, like
Or bring it to the ring and just move the foam rock to the bottom of the
What if
ramp.
you stab the rock and he puts the rock over his shoulder with the blade
Awesome.
and carries the rock to the ring?
That'd be heavy. That would be heavy.
No, it would be dumb because he would be stabbing my pillow pal and just stabbing that and carrying that out. But it's just it doesn't make sense to me. Like the stabbing of the sword and the rock is like, this is where the sword is because I don't need the sword to do anything. And now he's bringing the sword to the ring as an intimidation factor.
Luke says you don't know what that rock did to him off camera.
It's not a bad point.
That's a great point, Lou. That is a great point.
Whatever the Rock did, he was doing it in honor of Rikishi. Rikishi did it for the Rock. Now the Rock is doing it for Rikishi.
How many weapons have we ever seen brought out in the WWE that will never be actually used in the ring, like in combat?
The Barbarian or the Berserker had a sword.
Berserker
Right.
had a sword and a shield.
Right.
Yep.
So, like, is it just
Stab the
swords?
Undertaker.
Well, Drew did try to strike Shanky with the sword.
China had that rocket launcher.
That's true.
That's
China.
right.
But she used that.
She used it on the ramp.
Yeah, but she didn't fire rockets.
Yeah.
Great. She's not a Hardy, for Christ's sake. She wasn't broken then.
Brian
The
Pillman,
smoking guns didn't shoot their cap guns at people.
Yeah.
No,
that's
a
true.
Gun.
Pillman didn't shoot
Pillman.
Austin.
What? No, he didn't.
Pillman 9mm.
That was so good.
Like he's wheeling it around like he was going to strike Shanky with it.
Right. He looked like.
And
he
again, the
was one of
smoking guns never pointed their guns at competitors either, I don't believe.
Right.
No.
It's just
It's a
sword is
fucking sword.
It's a cool gimmick, but then there's like another part. It's like if you follow that fiction writer Dave Meltzer and his cohort, what's the other guy? Marquez?
Alvarez.
Ryan Alvarez. There's apparently this talk of whether or not the Angela that we see is fake Angela or real Angela. Because Drew said, I'm not bringing real Angela out. I'm bringing fake
Bye, Mark.
Angela.
Oh, Mark disappeared.
He did so good all show.
There's fake Angela, but then like he brings fake Angela, and then there's real Angela. So which is I don't know.
Where does
nipple 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 nipple
playing with the big dog's nipple? Yeah.
You want to squeeze on Bob Lashley's arm there too?
He's been working.
Bob.
So
Bobby.
All right,
Mark's missing them all.
There he is. Now he's back.
Oh,
Oh,
he flipped sides. Oh no!
What happened?
You missed it. Ryan was playing with Lashley's nipple.
Nope, that was the
With
big
the
dog's
big
nipple.
He's playing with Roman's nipple. He was honking on Bobby.
Isn't that an Aerosmith? An Aerosmith album?
Honking on
Yeah,
Bobo.
Lou
Honking
has
on
it.
Bobby?
Bobby.
Lou
There you
has
go.
it. To put this all together, Drew has to obviously behead Alexa's doll at Mania, and then the following Monday we get normal Alexa back.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I like that.
You can just make Mania this coming Sunday.
What
Saturday?
What if Drew?
Friday.
What if they do it in the lead-in to Rampage?
Couldn't happen soon enough.
Now, what if Drew goes to swing the sword, and when he does, it hits Lily, and Lily shatters Angela? That's when I quit. I will officially quit then.
I'm out. I'm done. I'm gonna go watch AEW.
What if this all goes down at War Games?
I gotta listen to it. I said I would listen to it.
War games. War games. War games. War games.
Just one's all I need.
Well, that's not
Okay.
true. I said I was gonna give you just one randomly.
War games. War games. War games. War games.
That was from Sunday.
I appreciate you.
But yeah, okay.
Oh, get that little thing on Sunday. You ought to go listen to that if you've not listened to it yet.
Yeah, we talked about the 13 releases.
Yeah, real bad.
But we talked about that. Any other thoughts on this Alexa stuff before we go to
Move it along.
our pal Chris?
Sure.
So it was announced last night during AEW Dynamite that if Chris Jericho had defeated Wardlow last night, that the fifth labor of Jericho was indeed he faces MJF next week, which obviously he defeated Wardlow. And apparently I wasn't the only one, thought that he had to complete 5 labors and then got a match with MJF. Like, I didn't think that MJF was the 5th labor. Was I like, I know Ryan, you were with me on that. Tim, Mark.
Yeah, but I don't pay much attention, Jim. So that doesn't
Right,
give you
right.
a lot of cred.
No, that's why I'm asking the rest of the group here. Was I alone in thinking this?
To me, MJF set up the 5 labors of Jericho for Jericho to go through 5 labors to get what he wanted at the end, which was a one-on-one opportunity with Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Presumably at All Out, which it's not. It's next week on Dynamite.
Which makes me think that it's not going to happen. I think it's going to be a bait and switch.
Oh.
Because
MJF is a master.
Yeah, he's a master of that.
Oh my.
It's neat. Like, I like the labors of Jericho. I like this whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
We get a little bit of old, you get a little bit of new, get a bit of current.
bit of the bubbly.
You get, well, depending on who you believe, Jericho was on a little bit of the bubbly with how rough he was looking in the ring last night.
Oh boy!
Because Jim Ross was like, he's not the same. He's been, he's had to wrestle once a week for a month at 50.
Well, I mean,
I thought he looked better last night than he did against Hoovy.
Well, that was Hoovy. That was partially.
No. I'm talking specifically Jericho's bloodshot eyes against Juventud.
Well,
we
Hoovy
didn't talk about that
I didn't even watch it.
I get nostalgia is cool, but I feel like Jericho versus Hoovy in 2021 is all about coulda and it shouldn't have been about shoulda, because that match was rough.
And the stipulation of the match was, in order to win, you have to do a move off the top rope. But even then, when Jericho finally hits the most devastating finisher in the history of the world off the top rope, a spinning back elbow,
a spinning back arm flab. Yeah, go ahead.
And that move alone should have ended the match, right? It's like a finisher's match. Or where if you hit the move off the top rope, ding, ding, ding. Instead, Jericho hits super flappy, and then he has to pin Hoovy.
Right?
And then now we've got this. Now MJF's stipulation is Jericho can't use anything named Judas.
Right, so he can't
use the theme. He can't.
One
use
of the worst maneuvers in wrestling today. He can't use the music, so the crowd's going to sing him out. Or I actually saw this today. There's reports that AEW contacted the WWE to try to get the Break the Walls Down music. I don't know if there's truth to that or not.
Huh?
There is. You have a sound. You have a sound on that soundboard of the percentage that WWE is going to let that shit hit the air.
0.0.
Yeah, no fucking way.
I will castrate myself on Facebook if that music hits.
Oh my.
0 point. I will bet my nuts on it.
Wow,
Ryan is in shock.
That is quite.
I have already fought the internet on plain s'more. I have nothing to live about. Someone said that I was eating poverty s'mores on social media. I have nothing to live for anymore.
That is.
Take my nuts.
Take my nuts, please.
Take my nut. Like, that's all I got left. They've already hung me out in the streets.
Like, we play around with that 0.0.
This is 0.0.
I get it.
Put my nuts on it.
Man.
I understand.
Jim's going all out.
Now.
Oh my God.
Now here's the thing. This is a WWE version of Break the Walls Down. If Fozzy did a cover of this song,
shit,
and they play it, my nuts are safe.
Right. This has to be.
It has to be the Jim
WWE
Johnston
official.
You know I got you, bitch.
That
that's what the one. Yeah.
Like if you really want to find out if WWE really thinks AEW is competition or not, we'll see if that music hits. Let's see. Lou here says the fake Booker in me, Wardlow, says Jericho then challenges MJF making a new face.
That must be the fake Booker T in you.
My man Wardlow.
But
see, to me, Wardlow should have won, stopping the labors of Jericho.
Right.
But
to me, Wardlow should have been the fifth and final labor.
That's kind of a letdown of a labor, though, isn't it?
Hasn't everything
Wardlow
post Nick
Raven.
Gage been a letdown? Let's be honest.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Like this whole thing peaked at Nick Gage, right?
And if you were MJF, why wouldn't you
Yes.
make Nick Gage the
Absolutely.
fifth one?
Right.
Like you want him as beat up as
Maybe
possible.
Nick's not available.
Well, I mean, who's more intimidating? The leader of a fake internet wrestling gang or Mr. Mayhem himself, Big Thick Wardlow?
Yeah, but I just see like discount.
I know the answer is actually Nick Gage, but
Yeah.
I'm going AEW logic here.
I get that, but like, isn't Wardlow, and I'm gonna probably catch hell for this, just like other Rhino? Like,
He's
what is to Wardlow that I'm not seeing?
He's like baby Sid. They're booking him like he's Sid Vicious.
Is that where you really want your guy to be, though?
I mean, if I'm playing softball, I'm down.
I mean, we're live, right?
We are live.
I don't care. I don't so much care for Wardlow. Like,
I just don't see it yet.
I don't like that they're making him a big man and he's not a big man.
That's probably part of it.
But it's also, if everyone in AEW is small man, then like your big man is 6'4".
But you keep grabbing up ex-WWE guys. Your Christians are pretty tall too, and he's never been a big man. So when your big man is as tall as Christian Cage, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yep.
Chris never been a big guy. I would never even think of putting Christian in a big guy category.
Christian's tall man right now. He's
But
not
he
big
is
man,
tall
he's
man.
Tall man. He's tall man. And then Big Show coming out, or excuse me, No BS Paul White coming out.
Shoot, okay.
And making everybody look real small.
Let's talk about this segment for a second.
Besides, we'll get back to Jericho.
Let's talk about Jericho.
The last half hour of Dynamite last night felt like it fell off a cliff.
They were under 1 million in the ratings. It was 989, I think, right? 989,000.
The challenge is back now, which does draw similar demo.
The challenge
on MTV.
The former Real World Road Rules Challenge. You know, not the Real World Warrior Challenge.
Got it.
Animal.
Got it.
Real World Animal.
Real World Animal. Got it.
But like, I felt like that. You gave me, what was the final half hour? It was, you gave me the Big Show with the slow stroll in, and then
what kind of movement are you expecting from No BS Paul White? You want him triple time, like Drum Corps International style, getting his ass down the ramp?
No.
As bad as No BS Paul White was, you're trying to tell me Tony Schiavone's child, who's a full fucking grown man, who's training to be a professional wrestler, can be restrained by the littlest guy in the Nightmare faction.
Right, who he's bigger than.
Who he is clearly bigger than.
Okay.
And just stood there and took a gut punch from QT. And again, Nick grabbing him, I get it. Nick's a big boy, muscles him into the ring. Sure, I get that.
It's this disrespect on Aaron Solo that made
Aaron Solo?
Yeah. I think that was Aaron Solo.
I mean, that's not a big guy.
No idea who that is.
That was the former Mr. Bailey.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of things falling off a cliff.
That's like Big Dick Devin trying to like hold back one of us to get punched in the gut and then take a diamond cutter.
I believe in kayfabe. By the way, it wasn't a diamond cutter. What did Jim Ross call QT? A stunner.
A stunner. JR, come on, man.
And then QT did do the diamond thing, right? Like he did that.
There was a whole storyline of QT Marshall asking DDP, during the pandemic to teach him the diamond cutter.
Oh.
There was a thing about it.
JR didn't know that. Was that on Being the Elite?
You know he ain't watching that.
I mean, yes, it
He
was.
barely watches the show that he's commentating on. And I love JR. This isn't
JR's sour grapes.
But here's the thing.
I golfed timeout. I golfed the other day, and Ryan, your uncle Jason pulled a sassafras root, and all I could think the whole Anyway,
how's he pulling sassafras roots for?
There was some along the golf course. It smells like root beer because I guess it's in root beer.
So
yeah,
I'm not so worried about the fact that Jim Ross didn't watch the Being the Elite or Nightmare Family, whatever garbage of QT Marshall learning the diamond cutter. I'm more concerned with the fact that Jim Ross called about every single Stone Cold Steve Austin match
there
was in the WWE.
Right?
That's fair. Wow.
Fuck, man.
And he in his time, he has now reverted to that being a stunner.
Fuck, man. Like,
I don't care. He's made more. He's made more money doing wrestling than I will make doing anything in my entire life. He has done the job that I wish I could do
100%
better than almost anyone else in the history of this great sport.
He's the guy.
He is on the
100%.
Mount Rushmore of all-time great commentators, next to Gordon Soley and next to Joey Styles and
Gorilla
next to Gorilla can go up there.
For me,
That's
it's
fine.
Gorilla.
That's fine. However, there was a point in time when Gordon Soley didn't do it anymore.
Yep.
To me, now that there is Rampage,
no.
By the way, Rampage is a 1 hour long television show.
Thank you.
Here we go with 4 commentators: Excalibur, Taz, the bloated corpse of Chris Jericho, and Mark Henry. 4 guys, 60 minutes of television. To me, move Jim Ross to Rampage and give
those interview segments, man, where you can fucking
you can do the interview segments, but him doing 1 hour's worth of television. Now, granted, the time slot's not perfect for him. You want really grouchy, sleepy Jim Ross at 10 o'clock.
I need some mules and a nap.
How does this work? You buy a ticket to Rampage for an hour of television. I'm assuming they're filming one of the Darks, correct?
They're probably filming Dark Elevation as well.
And Friday's hour. Okay.
Or are they not filming? Are they filming 2 weeks? Or is every Rampage? No, because next week's live in Chicago. Yeah, so
it's the first dance.
What the
The
fuck?
first dance.
I seriously thought it was a 2-hour show.
It seems
I
like
think it's a 1 hour show.
It says 1 hour. It says 60 minutes when you look it up.
But I know because I did look it up last night because a friend of the show, RJ, tweeted that he
Not RJ City, by the way.
No, not RJ City, a different RJ. But he tweeted that he was like, man, I really wish a Rampage was 2 hours. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, it is 2 hours, right? He goes, nope. And I went, well, shut the fuck up. And I Googled it and I was like, nope, it says 60 minutes.
I'll be damned.
I fucking learned that last night.
I'll be doggoned.
Mark. How darned are you, Mark?
I'm pretty darned right now. Pretty darned. Is that right?
I'm pretty darned right
Pretty
now.
darned right now.
Yeah,
I just
at least he didn't yell Stone Cold.
That's right. That's so true. That's so true.
Give it to her.
AEW does so many things right now.
Correct.
That it's really easy to like cherry pick what isn't really clicking or what doesn't quite make sense. Because right now, like I saw, there's a message going around, like a Twitter post. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't know if we shared it in our house chat or whatnot, but it is every segment of AEW Dynamite featured either main event level talent or wrestling legends intertwined with the company's homegrown stars. Whether you're nonpartisan or pro WWE, you have to admit AEW lays out their shows much better than WWE currently.
See, I actually had that thought last night. And I feel like the WWE would have caught shit if they trotted out Sting as a manager the way that AEW is doing to Darby Allin. People would shit all over the WWE.
So glad you said that before me, because I've had that thought for a while. And I don't get me wrong, I understand Sting is 62 years old.
I get it.
And Sting
He's a
has
senior
only
citizen.
so many bums left on the bum card. And you don't want to bring him out and wrestle on a weekly basis, nor should he. I don't think he should wrestle every
But
week.
it seems crazy that the icon Sting is painting up his face every day for wrestling and goes out and he's just cheerleader Sting for Darby All-In.
He was a cheerleader on one of the dark elevations one of these weeks. I'm like, could you imagine the reaction if WWE had brought Sting out in a managerial role on Main Event?
Here's the difference.
The difference is Darby Allin would be on 205 Live.
Also,
115 Live.
Darby Allin is a borderline main event star who is the closest modern day equivalent to Sting from the 1997 Crow run. Sting makes the most sense being aligned with Darby Allin if he is not by himself. Who in the WWE would Sting have aligned with to be that role? Because it couldn't be Aleister Black, because Aleister Black rolled with the devil. He ain't a loner man, he's with the devil man. And that's different, and Sting don't mess with the devil. Two, Bray Wyatt.
And he is with
Bray Wyatt's devil adjacent.
I mean, Darby Allin ain't the cleanest character.
Look, man, allegedly is allegedly. You know, until he gets suspended for a month without pay and goes through sensitivity training, everything appears above board for him.
That's fair.
It's 2 months for the other guy, isn't it?
Is it 2 months for Max Caster?
I read 2 months for old Rappy Max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he got the Sammy special, as they like to call it. With
I was gonna say
he got the same thing Sammy Guevara got for tweeting the stuff about Sasha.
They fell off the tag rankings. His partner wrestled a solo match on one of the darks. He's gone away for a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably
fine.
smart. That's probably right.
That should happen.
And when he comes back, he's gonna be freestyling again, and he's gonna be the hottest thing. And I can't wait for Max Caster to come back. Max Caster has just as much upside as Darby Allin, has just as much upside as the Jungle Boy. Like,
but to the point about Sting, like I think even if WWE had a character, that it would have made sense for Sting to be that corner man role. I think you bring Sting out on Main Event, WWE gets shredded for it. To Ryan's point, like
I think you bring Sting out on Raw as a corner man. It's just
right. I mean, like
have some respect. This is Sting. I don't know. I feel like this plays out very different, and I know I sound like Jim here, but
that's why I'm glad you said it,
Jim.
Like,
I'll be on that hill with you.
It's like I've had that thought for a while, and like don't get me wrong, I think like what Sting is doing and like what they're doing with Sting and Darby is great. I'm not shitting on what they're doing with it, but like I think a lot like to some point, and I know we've touched on like this point before, is like just about every Dynamite is laid out the same. You have like a trios match, you have a tag team match, you have definitely only one women's match, and you have some singles matches, and like all but either all of them or all but like one of them has ring apron or outside shenanigans that distract everybody in the ring. Referees have no control. Gang wars somewhere. Shivani gets cut off when he's trying to interview somebody on a promo, and then there's like chaos at the end of the night. They're doing it well. I enjoy Dynamite. It's the show that for the last probably 4 to 6 weeks that I've consistently watched live every week. So this isn't just me being WWE guy Jim. Like that's not what I'm doing here. But like it's there is a repetitive formula. Like everybody talks about how WWE is repetitive, and they are, because we literally see the same matches every week on Raw. But like AEW to a point is repetitive as well, and nobody cares about that.
Mark, what do the fine folks up at Hershey Park think about AEW's repetitiveness?
Well, I was just talking to Mark over there in Games about it, and Alexi. And Mark is a big fan of the AEW. He doesn't necessarily mind the repetitiveness.
Hmm.
He didn't mind it. Did you realize that there's a Millipede game in the arcade beside Mine Town Vittles at Hershey Park? There's a Millipede game. Remember Millipede?
I thought it was Centipede.
No, there was
There
Millipede
was one
too.
Centipede as well. And then there was Millipede. It's right by the Ms. Pac-Man. Now there's 2 Ms. Pac-Man up there. One goes really fast and the other one's like normal speed. So you play the fast one, you can get more bonuses and extra lives.
What do I need to mute him?
I don't think so.
Or is he okay?
Do they have any WWE games up there in Minetown Vittles?
Yeah, the arcade beside My Town Vittles, they do have Wrestling Superstars, I think it is, that tag team one. So you can go on to face Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase for the championship, which I did. And I actually beat him once. And man, it was tough because when Andre gets in there, it's over. He hits you with one move and pins you. That's it. But I got the key is, Smokey, and I'm glad you asked. You got to keep DiBiase in the ring. You get DiBiase in there and you work him down, and then you win the championship. And then I lost the next match when I was defending.
That's what tag team wrestling's about, right? Cut that ring in half.
You got to cut it in half. I learned it from Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body would always tell you got to cut that ring in half.
Got to cut it in half.
Listen here, Monsoon.
That was actually really good.
That was real good, Jim. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
You need to isolate that sound for me.
I
think that's a good sound drop.
All right, was it 152-ish?
City used to call him Gino.
Yeah, called him by his government name.
Gino
Morella.
But to Jericho, let's see, Lou here says there's always been a weird vibe with characters that weren't homegrown in WWE. Seeing as a manager on TNT seems right. Yeah, there is that nostalgia feel, the old WCW feel to him.
Yeah,
and I think Lou's right to a degree. Recently, I think we feel that. But I think you go back to like Jericho. I think people look at Jericho and think that's the WWE Jericho, the list, all that other stuff with Jericho. You kind of forget the Lionheart and the list, Cruiserweight, and the list in WCW of Jericho.
Armbar,
Right. Eddie Guerrero. Everybody's like, oh, great WWE star. Again, really great in ECW, WCW before ever coming. So I think that's something recent that we're seeing, that if you're not a WWE homegrown talent,
stupid idiot,
it feels a little weird for you.
Sure.
You know what? I missed AEW this week. Did you guys catch 90 Day Fiance? I can tell you about that.
Ooh,
tell us about that, Mark. What happened?
All right. Well, I'm glad you asked. So you had Andre and Libby came.
So like definitely with Jericho. And who would you have, like, if what we originally thought, you have to beat out 5 labors? Who would you have picked for the 5th labor? Assuming that Nick Gage stays at 3, Wardlow goes at 4, or excuse me, Nick Gage was 2, Hoovy was 3, Wardlow 4. Who would you guys have picked as the 5th before you get to MJF?
Lance Storm.
Oh shit. I like that a lot.
Jericho's first ever opponent. You keep talking about this book of Jericho where he talks about all of his opponents.
Shit, I like that so much.
You've got Lance Storm, and he has one last match with Jericho, and you can't tell me Lance Storm can't go.
Oh, Lance Storm's
Yeah, I'm
ready
sure
to
he
go.
can still go.
That guy could wrestle circles around Jericho right now. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. Damn, that's a good one, Tim.
That's so much better than anything I would have said.
Like I was thinking maybe like Chavo because he's in the picture now with Andrade.
Ooh, Chavo.
Man, yeah, I don't.
Or you could have made it Sammy Guevara. And with the caveat of if Sammy lays down for Jericho, the
over.
match with MJF is off.
Great point. I like that.
Like
or theoretically, or anybody in the inner circle.
He could have went 2v1 versus the Revival, or sorry,
Jake Hager.
the FTR.
Well, except one dude's got a hole in his arm now.
Well, whatever. Put Tully in there.
I like how they keep showing that clip too.
Teddy Blanchard.
Like, stop showing me the goddamn hole. Let's just check in on Mark. Mark, how we doing here with?
What? And then I don't know why on earth Chuck would think it'd be a good idea to get Charlie and Andre in the same room.
Oh no,
I have no clue either. But Jake Hager, you could do a handicap match against Pride and Powerful. Either way, have Lou says Malenko like is he?
Oh, well, I think he has like
Parkinson's
or something.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, does he really?
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Lou Gehrig, something that's not good.
No, it's Parkinson's.
Is it Parkinson's?
It's Parkinson's. He's got the Michael J. Fox deal.
He got the shaky doos.
That sucks. Yeah, I didn't know that. Here's one, and would AEW touch it? But like Jericho had a lot of matches against Chris Benoit. Would you bring out Benoit's kid?
No.
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 I mean, if they grab another WWE guy coming off of their 90 days, I mean, I don't know when Braun is coming back, but if they're going to grab Braun as a way to introduce another guy, Braun will be a heel over there, I assume. Jericho is face because the fans sing his song. I don't know.
I guess.
Love MJF's entrance theme, by the way. I don't know. Is it exactly the same as the Indies? But it's very similar.
Very similar.
Really enjoy his theme.
But like, I mean, again, faces and heels, do they really matter? Jericho used a fucking bat to win the match last night.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So are we feel like we're splitting hairs? But man, I like Lance Storm. I think Lance Storm's the right answer. So, we do
maybe we get Lance Storm.
Maybe
next week. Maybe MJF comes out and he's like, "Let me be serious for a moment. You're clearly not going to wrestle me."
So
we can watch Tim mark out all over the place.
So,
there's so much come.
So like, assuming that Tim was right, that it's some sort of, a swerve,
bro,
something. Like, do we think he faces somebody else? Devin has a good question. He goes, what about Daniel Bryan as one of the competitors? See, I still think they're holding on to Daniel Bryan for the show in New York, assuming that COVID pending, we still get to that show in New York. Yeah.
New York's buckling up too a little bit, right? They're doing the maskies inside. Is that?
Yeah, I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of places, but yeah, New York, it's masks indoors, sort of thing. But like the Winnipeg Jets of the NHL, the New Orleans Saints, the NFL, proof of vaccination or negative COVID test within 72 hours of entrance to the buildings for these things. We're going to start seeing that everywhere.
Speaking of sports, how absolutely awesome is this Red Sox Yankees game tonight?
White Sox, yeah, dude.
Or, I'm sorry, White Sox Yankees game. Yeah,
when players like when Costner coming out of the cornfield, the players
that
coming
is
out of the
unreal,
cornfield. Dude. I had fucking chills, man. It is
chill inducing.
It is so good. I'm pretty sure they're going to do one of these every year. Now, I don't
You think
see
this is going to be a regular thing?
Is this still on?
I think
it's on Fox, except in Lancaster, where Fox 43 is running the Eagles game.
Yeah,
and people that only get 43 are quite pissed that they're missing this.
You have to go to Fox 29 out of Philly if you have it.
Yeah, the other channel.
If you have DirecTV or Dish in Lancaster, PA, you're shit out of luck on this one.
Yeah, you are, unfortunately.
Actually, no. If
you could switch over to Rabbit Ears.
If you go to like the Fox Sports app, I think you should, with your cable login, you should be able to pull it up. Mark.
Okay.
How you doing, Mark?
So I really think Paula Mayfield would make a great guest for the show.
You know what? I think,
Mark, you got to reach out.
Maybe we can work on that. We will discuss it. But you made a ton of great points, Mark. I can't believe just so spot on.
Now, Mark, I know you're not a huge sports guy, but while you were going on about the 90 Day Fiance, we were talking about the Field of Dreams baseball game that's happening right now.
Sure.
Have you seen the movie Field of Dreams?
I remember buying it on VHS at McDonald's.
They did have it on VHS at McDonald's.
Right.
That the Ghost.
Yeah, the Ghost. What else do they have?
Backdraft.
Opus.
I will always say this about Field of Dreams. Like if you cared about like sports at all, and if you can watch the scene when Kevin Costner gets to have the catch with his dad, if you can watch that scene and not get choked up or tear up or cry, you have no soul. Like thinking about that scene, I almost get choked up.
That's awesome. It's a great scene.
It's such a good fucking scene of a movie. Like the payoff of that movie to where he gets to have a catch with his old man. Damn, it's that fucking good, man. It is so good. Any other thoughts?
Now, were you guys saying you're having problems? Were you having problems watching a game on TV locally?
Nope, nothing. Everything's great.
No, this is
no, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Totally fine. It works just. Oh no, Mark, you're gonna get us. You're gonna get us shadow banned, man. You're throwing that remote up there. That is dangerous. How is that thing legal to sell in stores?
It's like the dark web. It's like the dark web of television. I don't.
It really is. It really is.
It broke his internet.
I was gonna say yeah, froze up. Any other thoughts on anything before we close up tonight here, boys?
No, AEW number was down, but it hit on that again, right, Jim?
Yeah. Good. You say you got my PayPal is what you're telling me.
I did.
All right. Let's close this thing out. Ryan, start with you. Got anything to plug this week, Ryan?
I don't have anything. I know Matt is enjoying some vacation time, so I'm not sure if we have a Woman of the Week going into next week, but definitely check us out. It's at 3 Count Thursday on the Instagrams. That's where we put up pictures of women in professional wrestling that we support. We always want to be supporting women's professional wrestling, and the 3 Count Thursday podcast is the place to support that for life. That's all I got, folks.
Very good. Mark, you got anything to plug this week?
Well, there's a few things. Next couple of weeks, there's going to be in here for the what is it? Oh my God, it's not strawberry. The peach whoopie pies over at Miriam's Pies at Roots. Peaches are only in season for a few weeks here, prime season. So head over to Roots. And this Sunday is the 90 Day Fiance tell-all for this particular season. So be sure to check that out. I think it's the last time we'll ever see Angela and Michael on there. So I'm sorry if that upsets anybody.
End of an
Everybody
era.
have a good
End
week.
of an era. All right, Sam, what do you got?
Our woman of the week is Shauna Reed. You can follow her at Shauna_Reed on Instagram. You can see all of the posts for her on our Instagram feed. Remember, 1 like equals 1 vote towards our woman of the year. And I think it's the top 2 or 3 vote getters for the entire year. We make a donation to a nonprofit organization of their choice. As for me, at Not the Toolman across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it, I'm there. If you enjoy what I do here, I podcast for Final Wrestling Place, which is a weekly podcast talking about the good and the bad of the nouns of professional wrestling. This week, we build our ultimate good place SummerSlam card, where we take 1 match from every SummerSlam, but we cannot duplicate any wrestlers and we cannot duplicate any titles.
Oh man, I like that a lot.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be super fun.
For Mania, right?
Yep, we did good place and bad place.
That'll be longer than an AEW Dark episode.
It will. I hope so. And then at the end of every WWE, AEW, and NXT pay-per-view, we do Viewer's Choice on the North-South Connection. It's a quick 30-minute ditty on what if you didn't watch it, what you should watch, what you could skip, and what the MVP of the pay-per-view was. But other than that, take care of each other, lift each other up, be smart, be safe, love one another, tell somebody you love them, and we will see you back here next week, Lord Will and Big Jim.
All right, yeah, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Make sure you are following along with the show at 3 Count Thursday on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/3countthursday. Bonus content starts at just $2 a month. You can find our merchandise, whatamaneuver.net. Maybe we'll have a new merchandise store separate from the What a Maneuver coming up here before too long. Stick with us on all of our social media for any announcements. ColinElbowBrand.com. Use promo code 3COUNT for 10% off each and every order. Support our networks. Our home network is, as always, NGSC Sports at NGSCSports.com. And our secondary home is Leib Sports and the Music Network at LEEIBSports.com. Look, everybody, please stay safe, stay smart. Please wear your mask. Please get vaccinated if you're not. And until next week, stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin.